Hey guys, welcome to our financial future. This is a channel designed to build a community of investors so we can all reach our financial freedom together. In this video, we're going to go over how we're going to find companies that are tailored for you, how these companies are in our daily lives, and this is what's going to make investing fun for us. And at the end, there's going to be a secret on the first step on how we're finding a great company for you. It can be very confusing on where to start to look for stocks. And also it can be very intimidating because there's also thousands upon thousands of stocks to look at. We are going to be wanting to get into stocks that are very familiar with us, and this might not be stocks that other people are interested. So this makes it really unique journey for us on the companies we're going to be picking. When I mean stocks will be more tailored for you, you can look at the video game industry, and this is what some people are into. You can have Microsoft, which makes Xbox, and you can have Sony, which makes the PlayStation. Not only that, you can have video game makers like Activision Blizzard that makes Call of Duty, or EA Sports that makes Madden NFL. You could also have a company like Apple that makes the iPhone and the MacBook. Or you can also have a company that makes candy like Mondelez, which is Maynard's Wine Gums. Or you can also have Coke and Pepsi, which are in the beverage industry. We are essentially voting with our money. And this is going to help grow these industries to be something that we are going to buy more of because we enjoy their products. Like some of the companies that I have mentioned, these companies are grouped differently in the stock market. And these companies are grouped into a thing called sectors. Companies like Apple and Sony make products like the iPhone and the PlayStation are categorized in the technology sector. These sectors also have industries, and they're also in the consumer electronics industry. You can also have a company like Mondelez that makes Maynard Wine Gums and Coca-Cola in the same sector called consumer defensive. Consumer defensive is an industry that doesn't really get affected by downturns as people still buy these products. These companies are in two different industries, one making beverages and the other one making candy, called confectioners. These aren't the only sectors that exist out there. We can also have healthcare, financials, and energies, and these sectors will also have their own industries inside them. And once we become familiar with the sectors, we will be able to explore the industries inside them. A reason the market does this is a form of evaluation. And this is like comparing houses, because if your neighbor is able to sell their house for $500,000, it gives you a rough idea of what you can sell your house for based on its condition and size. So the stock market looks at these companies like this by basing them into sectors so they can evaluate them a little better. The stock market will be comparing these companies, and it is our goal to find these growing industries and find the best companies that we can so we can figure out which ones are going to come out on top. When it comes to exploring these sectors and finding stocks within them, we actually want to find the sectors that we know a little bit about, because this is what's going to give us advantage on picking the right stocks that are going to be for us. And this actually makes investing enjoyable, as these are going to be the things that we are interested in. The last thing we really want to get into doing is researching a company that we have no interest in, as this can make investing very boring. We call these things that we are familiar with our circle of competence, because this is something that is directed towards us because it is our circle. You can look at a company like Apple that makes iPhones and computers on the surface level, but we really have to dig deeper and see where they actually generate their revenue from. If we dig deeper into Apple, we can see that they make money off Apple Music, Apple TV. They also make revenue off warranty fees. They also make money off subscriptions to cloud storage, and we really need to dig deeper into how they make this revenue and how they also plan on making revenue in the future. What would put Apple in your circle of competence is the fact that you probably use one of their products like the iPhone and the MacBook. It gives you an idea of how these products are made and if you actually enjoy using them, because if you enjoy using them, then so does someone else. And it helps you evaluate their company based on the product they give. And if you find that valuable, then there is value behind their product. Warren Buffett's rule number 1 is don't lose money. His second rule is don't forget rule number 1. So when we are investing, we really want to keep into things that we know about, because if we invest in things we don't know about, this really increases our risk to lose money. How are we going to know that this company we can invest in is in our daily lives? Well, the first thing you want to do is just look at the product and maybe look at the label and see who actually makes the product. You could look on the back of the box of a cereal and see General Mills and see if they are a public company. There are multiple public companies around us if you go out to Wendy's, or if you go out to McDonald's, or even if you go out to Burger King. All of these companies are public companies, and the best way to find out if they are a public company is just go into Google and type in the name of the company, and then after that, investor relations. Our goal with our circle of competence should be to expand it. And by expanding our circle of competence, this gives us a wider array of stocks to invest in. For example, we want to be able to find the next Amazon in Google. So if we do not know about these industries, then they aren't in our circle of competence. As life goes on, there's always going to be new industries. Industries like renewable energies, e-commerce, cybersecurity, online education, virtual and augmented reality, communications, and autonomous driving. So there's always going to be something new for us to learn, which makes investing exciting. The reason this excites me is because it gives me a glance into the future. It really paints a nice picture on what the world is actually going to look like. So this will be able to help improve our investing strategy as we want to create a future story on what things are going to be like. When I got into the solar industry, I found a company like Enphase. They make microinverters that goes on the back of solar panels, which changed the industry. And this got me really excited as it's a new technology that I could see going into the future. You necessarily won't find the same things I find interesting. And this is what makes investing unique for someone, and you want to make this practice your own. It feels great to me that I know the money that I invest in is going towards a good cause, and it feels good to think about it this way, that our money is technically voting power to push these new products out that are really going to change the world. When becoming familiar with industries, we're going to have to go out and gather resources, whether this be through podcasts, books, online articles, YouTube, or even seeing the gurus out there and seeing what they are investing in. This will help expand our circle of competence as we become curious of what's out there. You might be thinking, where do I even start? Well, I am going to provide you with some resources to get you started in the investing world. I think the best approach is really just to get into some investing apps like Yahoo Finance, MarketWatch, and Seeking Alpha, as these apps usually give us some sort of updates on the market and provide us with news and companies that are out there, so we can just really start exploring and getting curious. And once we start gaining a little bit of knowledge, we will be able to expand on that as we go along in our investing practice. If you want to go the route of podcasts, identify the sector or industries that you are interested in and search them on Google to see what podcasts are out there. So if you are interested in renewable energy, there's a podcast called Energy Gang that will update you on the new clean energy coming out and the technology that comes with it. When you do have the Yahoo Finance app, you can actually reverse engineer the companies that you are already interested in to find out what sectors and industries they are in. So then you can go explore the other companies inside that sector and industry, because if that sector and industry is in your circle of competence, then so are the rest of those companies in there. When we do find the sectors that we are interested in, we are going to want to find out if that sector is growing or not. I've pulled this article down from Yahoo Finance that shows that communication services is a $5.5 trillion market cap, while healthcare is a $6.2 trillion market cap, with information technology coming out on top at $9.5 trillion. Just because the sector is bigger doesn't actually mean that its performance is better. We want to compare this to other companies, and will you be using the S&P 500 as the benchmark for that comparison. This is how the sectors grew in the past 10 years, with information tech growing at 357%. For financials had a similarly close market cap, only grew 154%. It grew over twice its size. If we look at certain stocks and their sectors, we will be able to see what grew the biggest in 2019. Things like semiconductors, the things that go into computers and phones, credit card services like MasterCard, and electronic equipment like Apple were areas of growth in 2019. When we turn down to the losers, oil, apparel, such as the Gap, were some of the worst for 2019. So I'll keep my promise in that there is a secret for you on finding a great company. So we're gonna head over to the computer and see how this process is taken when you find a good company.
Hey guys, so this is your bonus. This is what's gonna help build your watch list specifically targeted at your circle of competence. This is called a stock screener. There's lots of options here that you can look for in specifics, but we're just gonna focus on the things that you're gonna know about. This website's called finviz.com. It's all free. And you can see here, we were talking about sectors. So right here, you have a couple different sectors you can look at, like technology, real estate, industrials. But what's really gonna help you is this list right here. This is all directed at what you might know about. Airlines, airport services, auto parts, auto manufacturers, building materials, chemicals, computer hardware, grocery stores, healthcare plans, farm products, internet retail, leisure. So you get the point. There's a huge, there's more than enough industries here for you to explore. So we'll just stay here on telecom services, and it's giving us 67 companies to look at. 67 companies that are directly in your circle of competence if you know about telecommunications services or are learning about it or anything like that. So you'll be able to go through all these companies and put them on your watch list. So you can see how beneficial that is. We'll go to restaurants, 51 restaurants, and there'll be some names here that you probably know of. The Cheesecake Factory, Chipotle, Denny's, Domino's. So there's 3 pages of restaurants. McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Restaurant Brands International owns Burger King, Popeye's Chicken, and Tim Hortons. So you want to come to this stock screener if you really want to build your watch list, but it doesn't just mean put these on your watch list and go buy them. It means you put them on your watch list because you're interested in them, and then you go into more in depth about that company and if you want to leave it on your watch list or not. All right, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. It means a lot to me. Just let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. I have a private chat group as well that you can join. It's at my website, ourfinancialfuture.com. It's our-financial future. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.